exactly
Okay,
right. In
just
other
a
words, you
quick
cannot.
lesson on how to create a very simple calculated field in a query. We'll do a couple more lessons that get progressively more difficult, but the basis of this first one will be to continue using the Pine Hill database. This picks up at the conclusion of case 1 on 159. This video has nothing to do with the assigned problem itself. It's just simply here for reference purposes for how to accomplish creating a calculated field in the query. So for example, let's just look at the contract table for a second. This table has quite a bit of data in it, and it has the lesson type, the lesson length, monthly cost, and rental cost. These are the fields that I'm going to use for purposes of calculating a total cost. And so to do that, we'll do create, query design. The only table of interest in this one is the contract table, so I add that and then close. And let's say that I want to have the lesson type, lesson length, lesson cost, and rental cost. Now, if I run this query as it is right now, it's going to show each lesson type, the cost, and the monthly cost and the rental cost. If I wanted to get a grand total over here of the cost for each one of these, then I would need to add lesson monthly cost with monthly rental cost and put a total here. So this one would be 130, this one would be 130, this one, the fourth record would be 330, and so on. So in order to create that column, when you need to create a new field, it's called a calculated field in a query. Now, the steps that I would suggest that you do when you're creating a calculated field is first add the table and any of the fields that you need as part of the query. Once you have added those, then I would go ahead and save the query. In this case, I'm just going to call it total. So I'm going to call it total cost, like that. And so I've saved the query, I've committed it to the navigation pane over here, and now to create a very simple calculation, I'm just going to go into the first open column on the top row up here where it says field, and I can type it in directly right into the cell. I can use something called the expression builder, which we will do in a few minutes, or what I usually like to do, especially if I'm demonstrating in class, is to right click here in this empty cell and choose zoom. Then once the zoom box opens, I will increase the font so it's something like 14. And that way it's nice and big, it's easy to see. And in this case, all I'm going to do is simply add the lesson cost field and the rental cost field to create a total. And so when you're creating a calculated field, it always has this look. Whatever you want the new column to be. In this case, I'm going to call it total cost. So I'll type that, total cost, colon, space. The total cost in the colon indicates total cost is going to be the new column name. The colon is the separator that tells Access where the column name ends and the expression that's going to create the values begins. And in this case, lesson cost and rental cost are the two things I'm going to add up. So I just simply type lesson cost and then plus rental cost. If you type them in like I'm doing, you have to type